Okay, I am back. This is 2 for 2 now this morning. It is 6 a.m. It is Sunday, August 31st. Let's get right into this. This is another edition of Dr. Donna Clovis's work that I've been going through. That is Dr. Donna Clovis there, so you can see what she looks like. This novel, is called The Kingfisher. Okay, this is published by Balboa Press. That is a division of Hay House. What I believe is a vanity press, so she went out there and she bought this book to be bound, and then tries to sell it on her own. Once again, I'll start with this. This is another tome, coming in at a full 72 pages, including a foreword, an introduction, an epilogue, and an endnote. It also includes 17 pages that are completely blank. You see, when one chapter begins, it always begins on this side of the page. Like this, if the chapter begins and ends on this side of the page, when we flip the page, the backside is blank. So again, that's a full chapter at blank page. So, 17 blank pages here. So again, with my rudimentary math, if you got 72 pages and 17 of them are blank, we're only talking about 55 pages with words on them. And that's complete with very huge chapters that you have to absorb. Like, for instance, I want to do the preface. A 17-word foreword as it washes out and slowly comes into focus. That's your entire chapterette. With an $8.99 cover price, I'll leave it up to you to see if it's worth your money for it. Sorry about that. So, the introduction to the Kingfisher seems to sum everything up that you need to need. It's you're on a journey, an unexpected journey, through the words and life of the book. You will release and redeem the Kingfisher, who holds the sacred key to black humanity's history, out of slavery and the unjust policing, as in the death of George Floyd. And in this journey, the author whispers in your ears, tugs at them, beckons you to travel with her through your collective mind's eye. A connected consciousness, transcending the reality of the spirit. And you are spellbound by the softness of her words. So basically, she's writing about what writing is supposed to be. What it's supposed to do. You know, the epitome of telling, not showing. Ooh, sorry. So, what follows? There's an entrance to the darkness. And where is it? Well, of course, the darkness is within Princeton University. You will have to imagine the key within a slither of light. You must look for this during twilight. And the key, it will open a doorway. And that doorway will lead down into the blackness. Where one learns quickly that one is no longer free, but trapped in the realm of slavery and segregation. Policed and black. A place where life doesn't matter, especially if one is a black life. And here's where we get the story. Because, my dear readers and listeners, this is a fictional novelette. It says so right there. She bought it, put it right there in the corner. Fiction. And it proceeds as thus. You see, Mama's hum. She lullaby. I wrote this weird. Mamas hum lullaby melodies for their children. Should edit that out, but I'm not going to. Mamas try to save and protect all black men in their story of slavery and segregation and policing. She hums and sings their special tune, and she does it for them. And the Kingfisher, he has all of these stories to tell, because they, quote, represent his life in all black imprisonment he lives through. Therefore, pardon me, listen, because the Kingfisher has the strength to release you from terrible bondage. Bondage that goes on in our society, even today. And then at this point, the author, Dr. Donna Clovis, prepares to dictate that you are crying tears upon the page. Like, literally. Your tears dampen the pages. You cry out the word mama again. You have problems breathing, just like George Floyd. One note on this bastion of wisdom we have here. I'm going to take a literary break here for a moment. For some reason, word choices and syntax seem, to me, to be really off. Okay? For the last year, I've been reading and reviewing a set of books called Splatter Westerns. They are published through Death's Head Press. And we're basically talking about Western fictional books. Have some kind of supernatural, but they're always horror and gore and whatever kind of driven. Okay? And in the majority of the books, as interesting or disgusting or entertaining as they may be from time to time, there's an apparent lack of editing from, my simple view. Often they have, misspelled words, downright missing words and sentences, or disjointed sentence structure. Just things that make reading a novel difficult at times, because the breaking grammar, syntax, whatever, can remove you as a reader from the world that you're reading. It just destroys the illusion created for you, because now you're just sitting down reading a book on a chair or on a couch, and the words are wrong. Now, I know that Dr. Donna Clovis uses a vanity press to release these novelettes. Basically, self-publishing, and then selling the books at speaking engagements, or through book fairs, or just through online sales. And from what I'm aware of, they're typically printed as typed. But this book, compared to the 6 that I've reviewed before, just seemed not right at times. I'm starting to see some of those misspellings. Mama versus ma'am, when the shorter ma'am truly isn't really used. And with the nature of Dr. Donna Clovis's run-on sentence structure, just a flow is missing. And his disjointed flow makes the physical act of reading this difficult, especially for an ignorant lummox such as myself. And I understand that some writers have a knack of capturing the stream of consciousness nature in writing of whoever the main character who's thinking what he's seeing or she's seeing at that moment. And they make it wonderful. But this one is no James Joyce writing Ulysses that I'm seeing. Example. It's trying to kill us, all us, over the history of time since slavery at once. It may work, but I'm not seeing it. I'm a dummy. What can I say? It's the black wisdom and truth that will later saves you. Don't know why that's plural. I'm here. I have the key to save you. I is here in my back pocket. And by the way, I is here. Here is spelled listening. Here, H-E-A-R. I is here in my back pocket. And there has not been Southern Southern syntax in the book before. So I isn't I is going upstairs or I is going to the kitchen. Never been used before. Clearly, the sentence is supposed to be, it is here in my back pocket. I almost get the sense this may be typed via a dictation software. One that types out the phonetic speaking of the user into text. But then you have to reread it. What should be aimed for is instances where the syntax, if not the punctuation, makes words form into coherent thoughts. Thoughts that should convey a point, that should drive the story. And as a reader, even a simple, middle-aged, heterosexual, white American male, and one who clearly doesn't have a breath of common sense, decency, or intelligence, I need sentences to be spelled out and, well, simply legible. Otherwise, my brain is simply unable to follow them. Especially like a story like this. Because this is, and I quote, the story to save a black man's life while teaching everyone to breathe for George Floyd in a social justice of redemption and peace. Moving on. In the middle of this, you have chapterettes dealing... No. That's not the right word. It's not dealing with. More, you have chapterettes that are mentioning acts against blacks. Her word. Slavery. Then Juneteenth, where, by the way, blacks are still slaves today. Then segregation and water fountains. Then lynchings. Don't go into the woods, not even to escape. Klansmen. Then George Floyd. And of the chapterettes, many re-mentions of the Kingfisher in the Princetonian dungeon. Guard the key. Mama sings songs. You are reading my words, as if you forgot. And basically, to finish off these 55 pages, the Kingfisher gets freed. Now, the Kingfisher originally was mentioned as like a remembrance tool. He was the collective short stories of slavery and black persecution. A memory aid from tales, songs, and lullabies of history. But somewhere along the path, Kingfisher was enslaved beneath Princeton. And it took you, through this book, naturally, again, thank you, Dr. Donna Clovis, to allow us to release a beacon of slavery. Because now the Kingfisher is freed, released, ransomed. Slavery is now over, you write. Congratulations to us all. I am unable to create an epilogue to such a triumph. So I have to end on this note that Dr. Donna Clovis, through the Kingfisher, shortly after the time of George Floyd, has ended slavery. So, masterpiece. Have a nice day. I'll be back shortly. Bye-bye.